Hello, my mindful meal preppers. My name is Em. This is Life Stable. Welcome back, or maybe you're joining for the first time. Welcome, all the same. Today, we are going to be making a delicious, delicious fresh breakfast that comes together in 15 minutes tops. It's beautiful. I also am seizing this opportunity to bring back the granola that we made in month 1. Very exciting. So happy to be recycling. So if you joined me for that, this is a great time to bring out your granola. And if not, that's okay. You can always just purchase from the grocery store. Totally fine. It is in the budget. And by the time we are done, I also hope to have passed along some additional stress management techniques for when we're not in the green and everything's hunky-dory, but perhaps when we're in the yellow and we start noticing, okay, maybe I'm a little stressed out. One final note before we get started. I am recovering from a cold, so I apologize if I sound a little nasally. But anyway, let's tie back our hair if we have to. We'll put on an apron if we've got one, and let's get cooking good looking. We've got a fair bit to learn at Life Stable today, and not a lot of time to do it. Okay, hair's back, ready to go. I'm gonna start by preheating my oven to 400 degrees. If you don't have an oven, that's okay. This comes together great on a stovetop as well. And really it takes, when I tell you no time, I'm a little concerned that I'm not even gonna be able to start working on stress management stuff with you. We'll get started now. Wash your nectarines. A note about spoiled food. I'm just going to cut that part off. You can still eat the rest of this nectarine. It's still going to be delicious, but that obviously is going to get the chop. A note about that, just because there is one major exception that needs to be discussed. Cooked rice. Cooked rice is one ingredient that it's best to just not let that go for more than a couple of days. We cut this in half. We give it a twist. It should come right off. If you bought nectarines that are not quite ready yet, you're going to have a little bit of a struggle with that part. What you can do at the supermarket is obviously test for it. You want squish but not mush. I'm going to cut off these little pieces that are becoming mush. But also, if you went ahead and purchased nectarines and they're not quite cooperating the way that this one just did for me, you can cut these into quarters, you can cut these into slices, whatever it takes to get the pit removed from it, because we don't want to bake it with the pit in it. All right, let's start talking about some stress management techniques to use when we start noticing that we are stressed out. The first one is disputing the thoughts that are perhaps not stressing us out, but certainly are not helping the situation either. So an example that I think I used recently, and I'll go back to, is your boss sends you an email that says, hey, come into my office before you leave for home today. We need to talk. The thoughts that certainly at least run through my mind when I get a, hey, we need to talk message is, well, I should probably just pack my things now because obviously I'm fired. As if that's the most professional way to go about doing it. So this one's fighting me a little bit more. I'm going to try to get in here with a knife and just give a little pop. But if you can't do that, then again, we slice it down. Let me dispose of these pits. Yeah, might as well just pack it. There's no need to have that conversation. Boss, don't worry, I got you. I'll just see myself out. That's how at least my mental approach has been in the past. Disputing those thoughts though, right? Because that's not helping at all in any way. That only stresses me out further. I'm trying to guess and assuming the worst, as my brain tends to do for some reason. Have I ever been fired in my life? No. Never been fired in my life. Never been asked to quit. Never been forced to resign. None of it. I'm a pretty decent employee. At least I'd like to say so. So why now? Why of all, all right. So that's what we do then. When my brain starts spiraling of the what could it be, it's probably bad, you might as well just go ahead and pack up your things now and save them the trouble of having to escort you out of the building or anything like that. Calling back and disputing those thoughts and saying, no, let's talk about this situation. Let's actually play this out in our heads. A, do you honestly think that your boss is the one reaching out to you via text message to say, hey, we need to chat, or email, hey, on your way home, if we could talk? If I were getting fired, do you think the boss would wait until the end of the day or when it's convenient for me to go and see them? No. Part 2, have I ever been fired before? No. So why do you think that you're going to be fired right now when you've never been fired before, and like your work performance and your work ethic haven't changed all that much? You're still a pretty hardworking, diligent individual. Let's dispute those thoughts. Now, this can be harder for others of us who perhaps have been let go, not even of their own choice or of their own accord. Like perhaps a company goes out of business and everyone gets laid off. Sometimes it's harder to dispute those facts, but at the end of the day, you personally still have not been fired for being a subpar employee. Disputing those thoughts, challenging and reframing the mind when we are stressed out about something can help us to calm down. That's the first one. The second one, recalibration. We think about this from the mindfulness perspective of let me focus on what is going on in front of me. Let me focus on these observations. I'm going to get a pan out while I talk. So recalibration, it is that mindfulness, it is that focus of, okay, what is going on? What am I seeing? What am I thinking about? What is happening in my surroundings? What am I perceiving? So on and so forth. But it is with the intent of focusing on what is stressing you out. So we observe and we evaluate and we adjust to align with what is stressing us out and ways to resolve that issue and ways to resolve those problems. It's with the intent of getting the desired outcome. So what do I need to do to de-stress and get through this? And it's with the intent to just gain a better understanding of what's going on. Perhaps my goals are not aligning with the goals of my supervisor. They're not here to fire me. They're not here to say I'm in trouble by any means, but they are here to say, okay, let's put ourselves back in the shoes of what the goals of this company are, the mission, etc., or the mission has changed because we have new leadership and they have new initiatives, so we need to realign and refocus. Recalibration is doing that, but on the inside. What is stressing me out? What am I hoping to achieve? How do I actually go about achieving it? And let me pursue that from all angles and practice mindfulness with the intent to achieve those goals or just gain a better understanding of what's going on. I'm going to try to get these into this one little baby pan. Oh, it worked. The oven is still preheating. We'll move on to the third one then. Visualization. Same sort of thing, but instead of let me process this and work through it from where I'm standing and where I am in this moment right now, let me see myself at the end having achieved these goals and work my way backwards of here are the steps that I need to take, or here are the steps that I mentally took to get there. So it's starting at point B and working our way backwards to where we are, so that way we can then navigate and work our way forwards. Visualization. The one I really want to focus on right now is self-talk. Self-talk, and specifically positive self-talk. When I think about self-talk, it falls into one of two categories. It's either positive or negative. Negative, we already actually just gave an example of the boss saying, hey, I need to talk to you. And you and your little inner voice on the inside being like, well, that's it. Wipe the hands. We tried. Okay. We're not talking about negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is the ruiner of lives and days and mental healths and so on and so forth. Negative self-talk requires thought dispute. When you think negative thoughts, you dispute those negative thoughts with facts, observations, past performance, etc. Positive self-talk is very, very different and incredibly beneficial in many, many ways. First, it is known to improve concentration and problem-solving abilities. Thinking things like, I can do this, helps to build self-confidence and faith in yourself, which, miracle of miracles, sometimes that alone is enough. I, being a millennial and quite old at this point, right, the original Looney Tunes with the placebo effect of, I want to say it was Bugs. It's a long time now. This is a deep cut. Bugs fills everyone's water bottles with just regular water, but pretends that he's put this magical potion into the water to make the team better. Oven goes off. I'm going to put this in 400 for 5 minutes. 5 to 10. But we'll start with 5 just to see. I just want it warm enough to be releasing those flavors. And because they believe, he gives this motivational speech, they get the special water, and because they start believing, they start coming back and the movie progresses. I don't know why I'm worried about spoiling a movie that is, 30 years old now? 25 years old now? But it is known to build that self-confidence. I don't know, here's another one. There's this little girl, I'm sure you've seen her, this little girl in the mirror giving herself this mirror pep talk of like, I like my toys, I like my hair, I like my little brother, I like who I am as a person. That self-talk is in and of itself enough to help us get over the obstacles that we put in front of ourselves, or we see in front of ourselves, or that get placed in front of us. Just believing in me could be the difference between me making the leap and me falling to my death. So believe in you. Believe in you, please. That's the first one. It is known to improve that concentration, improve that accuracy, improve that understanding, and not just understanding of ourselves, but also the understanding of others. Let me put myself in their shoes. Let me play this out, how other people might be feeling. Show a little empathy. It helps, and it goes a long way for building and making those connections. That emotional intelligence is very, very important, especially in a workplace. It also helps us to just process our thoughts and ideas. Me hearing my inner monologue, me playing things out in my head, help me to navigate the situation better. And the idea of this that really comes to mind, it also really helps with like regulating those emotions. There is this video of Smosh, and specifically Angela on Smosh. Something happens where she feels like she deserved a point, she didn't get it. And she freaks out. She starts going off, are you kidding? That's unfair. And like you see her tipping over the edge of full on Angela tantrum, which are quite funny. I appreciate them. Sometimes a tantrum is worth it. Sometimes a tantrum, very, very helpful and good. But you see in this moment, like this rage Angela comes in, and then like a flip of a switch, she self-talks herself down. She says things like, I need to calm down. This is just a game. It doesn't matter all that much. It's all made up, so on and so forth. And it's like the activation of that inner thought and that inner self-regulation to be like, hey, buddy, you're overreacting right now. You watch her whole demeanor change. It's like a different person kicks in. Her tone changes, her volume changes, her facial expression changes, her body posture changes. Everything, as soon as she says the words, I need to calm down, she's gone. Self-talk that's like the perfect, beautiful example that comes to mind. So thank you, Angela and Smosh. It really, really does help. We're just about done with this. I'm going to check. I'm going to give this like a little more time. So I'm going to finish off with the goal setting and then I'll pull it out of the oven. Okay. Goal setting, SMART goals, which we've already talked about, but we visualize ourselves at the end and getting past this and getting through it. We work our way backwards in those steps. Write those steps down and use those for the goals as well. Break this down and really write it out and list it out. Here are the things that I need to accomplish and I need to achieve, and the order in which I need to achieve it, and here's how I know that I have succeeded and when I've succeeded. Here's how often I should be doing check-ins with myself to ensure that success. Those SMART goals, which we've talked about ad nauseum at this point, but we're going to continue to talk about them because they help and because they work. Specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, time-bound goals. Whatever is stressing me out, this big presentation that's coming up, by the end of this next month, I need to complete X, Y, and Z tasks. It will take me about a week to complete each one, so I will set up weekly check-ins with my supervisor to articulate and discuss the things that I've accomplished, the setbacks that I've experienced, what I might need their help with, what I expect to accomplish next week. And by the end of that month, then I will be ready to go. I will be all set and squared away. Specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-bound. SMART goals and goal setting to help you get past whatever is stressing you out. So I'm going to pull my nectarines out of the oven. And while they are still warm, I'm going to turn off the oven. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on them just to give even more delicious flavoring to them. Just a little sprinkle. By the way, if you're meal prepping this, now is a great time to stop. Because what comes next is you get a half a cup of yogurt, you put that on top. You get a 1/4 cup of granola, you put that on top. You drizzle a little syrup or honey over the top of it, which is all great, but it kind of makes like a big soggy mess if you're not ready to eat it right away. If you still like your granola to have a little crunch, if you don't like old hot yogurt that is re-chilled, go ahead and just store the baked nectarines as is. And then you can assemble tomorrow for breakfast if you'd like, which is what I'm going to do. But that concludes everything that I wanted to talk about today. It's a very, very quick one, which is exciting. This should be like a 15-minute meal. Thank you for taking care of you today. You'll probably see me for a second video. I'll probably be wearing the same shirt because we're going to cook more things today. But until then, thank you for taking care of you. I hope that you enjoy. Bon appetit. We've got our delicious breakfast going here. Oh, and we got a beep. Hi, beep. So I'm going to take a little bite of my nectarine, a little bite of my yogurt, and a little bit of granola here. Wow. Gosh, fruit with breakfast is just so good. Wow. I hope that you enjoy this as much as I am. It's a great way to start the day. Thank you for taking care of you today. Bon appetit. We're gonna get a beep shot. Hi, beep.
Just to be silent?
No, she can mute it.
Talking already.
Say hi to Becca.
Hi, Becca. How you doing? Miss you.
Bye. Oh, thank you, beep.